What is going on, YouTube land? I am Chris Catalunya. Before we get into this review, go ahead and check out my Instagram, Chris Catalunya with the underscore at the end. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload a new video. And again, we're hitting it really close to that 10,000 subscriber mark here on this YouTube channel. Thank you for your support. You're supporting the channel already. If you're not, you definitely will want to, because once we hit 10K, I'm gonna give away a Supreme Floral Skateboard Deck and a Supreme Super Soaker. So definitely subscribe to the channel. All right, on to the shoe. Today we are talking about this. I'm in Chicago, if you didn't know already. If you're not following on the Instagram, then you wouldn't have known. But I'm in Chicago, and this is what we cop. I didn't cop it. I took L's all day. But this is what Tim cop. This is the Jordan 5 Off-White. And y'all know, I'm not really a fan of Off-White shoes. Off-White, Virgil, plagiarism, he just doesn't do anything for me. But this is a keeper. All right, so I'm gonna let the man who got the shoes tell the story.
It was a long day. Let's break it down like this. I had gotten in to Chicago a day before Chris and my buddy Taylor. I waited in line from 6:30 in the morning until about 12:30 in the afternoon. I was right outside the venue about to get my Air Jordan Airship Pack and the Air Jordan 85, and a fight broke out. Nike called the day, and it was 6 hours of unsuccess waiting. After that, we all went out and got some pizza, and we got word of a sneaker pass coming in. We sat there, we practiced the sneaker pass over and over, and luckily I was one of three to get the shoe. So after we got the shoe, I kind of waited again in line today. We were unsuccessful in getting any more pairs. We were unsuccessful in all the foot side apps. We were unsuccessful in every other aspect of Off-White Jordan 5s. Thankfully, we hit one sneakers pass, and we now bring this review to you guys.
I think he left out the part where a female got hit.
Yeah, there was a fight
in
front of me. Girl, I didn't see the fight start. All I looked up and saw was a guy swing at a girl, and then the whole line proceeded to kind of beat this guy up for swinging at a girl, rightfully so. And that was one of three big outbursts that ultimately ended up just having the event canceled by Nike.
We landed at about 9:45. I had this awesome Lyft driver take us to the south side of Chicago, where she turned off her app for a Lyft as we got past the Chicago White Sox Stadium. We got there at about 12:30, right when the event got shut down. So we're like, okay, we just landed. Tomorrow will be a better day. We decided to go back to the Jordan Hub we wanted to get there for 5. We overslept. Got there at 6:13. They gave out 100 wristbands for the day for the 85s, we thought the pack, and the Off-Whites. 6:13, we're in line. Chris, Tim, and I are 23, 24, and 25 in line. People start acting crazy and start duplicating wristbands. There's 223s, 246s, and the guy goes, if you guys are playing this, we're cutting wristbands. Cuts wristbands on the spot of both the duplicate and the original person. Security looks right at us and goes, there's gonna be extras. Top 25, you're thinking we're good. So they did the sneakers pass first, and then the wristbands, 1 to 100. We did a little bit of math. There was only about 80 people that showed up for the wristbands, considering the ones that got cut and didn't show up. If you're late, they were not letting you go back in, regardless of your spot. Your number was called, you're done. So we sit there, the guy says 10 o'clock, general admission gets in. It's 8:30, we're like an hour and a half, no big deal. 10 o'clock rolls around, no sight of the guy. And then all of a sudden, people in military suits show up. Like, okay. Then cops in bulletproof vests show up. We're like, okay. Still no sign of the Jordan security. Okay, 11 o'clock rolls around. Telling us keep calm, it's inside. They want to get minimum amount of people inside. Okay, 12 o'clock comes around. Chris and I finally get in. We have no idea where Tim is at this point. Literally no idea.
I had to do my thing with the New York Loopers. I had just started.
So I'll tell you the truth. This whole time, Chris and I are looking outside. We see these guys. There's a fence. So here's the tent right here. Draw. There's a fence out here. There's people just leaning up against the fence talking to security guards, paying off the security guards to cut the entire line. $150 to $150 a clip just to get in the line. Then you wonder why we don't touch anything. Get in. There's about probably 50 people in front of us. There's Tim, about 20 people in front of us. Mind you, he came with us, okay?
I had to do what I had to do.
As we're in line, true story, this Jordan employee goes, all right, y'all are right here. 6 to 8 people cut Christopher and I. and we couldn't do a thing about it. Welcome to Chicago. All-Star Weekend 2020.
Now you see, before I wasn't even supposed to go on this trip. I only bought my ticket coming here. I didn't even buy my ticket coming back. I was not planning on going on this trip at all. This just was just. My dad's from Chicago. He's like, good luck with that. Just good luck with that. So after that, I was just like, this trip's not happening. Last second, I ended up showing up, knowing what I was gonna get into, and pretty much everything that was supposed to happen did happen.
We didn't get anything.
L's, except for this.
L's.
I took L's today.
All right, once again, we are getting into this review. This is the Jordan 5, the Off-White collaboration. Now, the shoe retails at a price point at about $225 USD, and your VAT and your taxes just based on where you reside. Now, looking at your third-party markets, looking at StockX, looking at GOAT, the shoe was hitting numbers up to $1,000. I'm not too sure where it's at right now, but I'm pretty sure it's still up there. Upon making your purchase, this is what the shoebox looks like. It comes in a black box. On the top, you have your Jumpman right here. To commemorate Off-White, you have your Swiss cheese holes all around the box, and then your cement print at the bottom. Opening the box, the shoes are displayed inside, but they are wrapped up in this Off-White clear plastic. Moving on to the upper of the shoe is mainly comprised of this like clear nylon material, and then under that is going to be this hyperfused material that was made popular back in like 2009, 2010, and this is black in color, and it feels pretty good to the touch. It's not soft, it is a pretty firm. It feels like it could almost be waterproof. Not too sure though, don't quote me on that. Now, incorporated with that hyperfuse, this TPU on both the lateral and the medial sides of the shoe, this TPU is done in a translucent color, and you definitely have to be wary of the color socks that you wear with this shoe because you can definitely see through it. In terms of marking, that lateral side features the 23. At the heel, you have that Nike Air. And then on the inside, that typical Off-White paragraph stating Nike Off-White Air Jordan 5, Beaverton, Oregon, circa 1990. Moving on to the lacing system, this too is done up in that TPU build that is translucent gray. Now the laces that feed through are black in color, of a flat shape, and a cotton build. Now the default is of that black color, but they do provide us two additional lace sets, a white one and a red one, that is donning that Off-White moniker with the shoelaces in quotation marks. Now personally, I would probably rock the red ones on the shoe. It just would make it pop a little bit more. To secure the laces at the very top, we have this lace lock right here that is done up in a clear, and you have the red push tab right here. Now, behind those sets of laces is the tongue, which is both done in a TPU material and a meshing material to enable breathability. At the top of the tongue, you have the Jumpman done up in red, and this is reflective 3M material, and it looks pretty badass at night. On the left shoe, we do have that zip tie going on. It is black in color, and it says Off-White CO Nike 2020 zip tie that you can remove when you remove all the laces. In typical Off-White form, you have your exposed foam reaching from the collar of the shoe, which is pretty cool. It is definitely not of your typical Jordan 5 shoe. And again, that is at the collar of the shoe as well as the tongue. Now, the lining of the shoe is done up in this cotton build that is black in color. Moving on to the midsole of the shoe, this is done up in an EVA foam to enable some cushioning, and it is predominantly done up in black in color. You have your cement color right here with the black speckles, and we have an air unit at the heel. If you look inside, it's done up in white, the chamber walls. The outsole is probably one of my favorite parts of the shoe because it has this worn look, that oxidation going on. It's like taking on this yellowing effect, and this is done up in a blown rubber to enable flexibility for when you walk. So you have the oxidation going on, you have that red Jumpman right here, the gray toe box area, and then in the middle you have that Nike that is depressed into that sole. In terms of sizing, I can't say how well this fits because this is not my shoe and this is not my size, but I imagine that it would fit pretty true to size. In terms of comfort, Jordan 5s typically are comfortable, especially with them employing that Nike Phylon EVA midsole and that air unit at the heel. Overall, I think this shoe looks pretty good. Again, you know I'm not the biggest fan of Virgil Abloh or Off-White, but this shoe looks pretty cool, and especially at that $225 price point, it was definitely more than that depending on if you came out here to Chicago, you stood in line, you ate, you got a hotel and all that, whatever. aside from all that pricing, I definitely think if I would have hit on this shoe, it would have been well worth it. I think it's kind of crazy that the resale market, these are hitting about $1,000, again, just depending on the size that you need, but I understand these were pretty limited. I think it's pretty safe to say that I'll never do an all-star weekend in Chicago ever again. This was just pretty hectic, especially right now. It's super freaking cold. Like Friday was like 15 degrees and I've never experienced anything like that before. I mean, I'm living in Texas where we have like triple digit weather and the coldest it ever gets is like 20 degrees. This is just ridiculous. Alright guys, I think this is a good stopping point for this video. What do you think about this collaborative effort between Jordan Brand and Off-White on the Jordan 5? Is it a good pickup, a bad pickup? What do you think about it being at that $225 price point? Let me know down in the comments below. Go ahead and check out my Instagram, Chris Catalunya with the underscore at the end. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload a new video. And again, we're hitting it really close to that 10,000 subscriber mark here on this channel. Thanks if you're subscribed already. If you're not, you definitely will want to. Alright guys, I'm Chris Catalunya, and we will check you next time. Cheers, sige na.